I want us to listen to something else. Cabinet Secretary for Interior Affairs, Professor Kindiki, has been out in the field and has been speaking about how to improve the security situation. He's proposing to arm chiefs and assistant chiefs. Listen.
In this regard, all chiefs and assistant chiefs will be vetted for suitability to bear arms so that they can be armed to support the security agencies in the areas that are affected by banditry and the threat of terrorism along the Kenya-Somalia border. We have also taken the policy decision that every chief will have at their disposal 5 police officers across the country to assist them in the enforcement of law and order in their areas of jurisdiction.
All right, and the Deputy President has not been happy by the coverage of this matter. Watch.
Hard-working CS and the security chiefs came up with a good strategy on how to create convergence between officers of the National Government Administration and the police to achieve total security. Again, our detractors using the press put a screaming headline, Moi era chiefs are back.
All right, so that's the Deputy President. But quickly, should I begin with you, Honorable Deputy Speaker? The decision of the policy direction to chiefs, should it just be a policy decision, or does there need to be maybe an amendment of a certain law? Can the minister just decide, or the cabinet just decide and do it?
Okay, first of all, I don't want to claim that I'm an expert in security matters. I'm sure if that statement has been made by the cabinet secretary, him and the other technical staff at his office have probably interrogated it. But that just said and done, anybody upon application and vetting and approval by the Firearm Licensing Bureau can carry a firearm. You can apply. If you justify the need that you should have a firearm, you can have it, whether you're a chief or not. That's the rule. So I don't think that one carrying a firearm.
But when a government makes a decision that taxpayers are going to buy guns for the chiefs so that they take care of security, I mean, where do you ground that in law?
You remember these people have an armory, eh? They have more guns than the people carrying them, by the way. That is why when there is an emergency situation, they are then the ones who normally would carry a rungu are then issued with firearms from the armory.
Right.
So it doesn't, they usually will have deployed to them. And that's why every single police officer is, during the training, are trained to carry a firearm. All those who go to the Kenya Wildlife Service, rangers, they are trained to be able to use a firearm. Those who are in the Kenya Forest Service, similarly, and not because they carry a firearm on a day-to-day basis, but should there be an emergency, even the ones in the prison, they don't carry it on a day-to-day basis, but they are trained already. Okay. And they actually have intervals of going back for refresher courses, not because they carry a firearm every day, but should there be an emergency, they can then have the firearms in the armory, in storage, deployed to them. Yeah.
All right.
So those are matters of operation. It doesn't require...
I would imagine that a gun for a police officer is just a tool of work. But Honorable Kosing, what is your opinion? At a time that your country sometimes has certain cases of insecurity, challenges that go...
I'm sure he's a licensed firearm holder.
But what is your take about arming police officers? Because the CSAs in bandit areas that have suffered from banditry as well as terrorism.
You know, some arming chiefs, KPRs, and so on. Personally, I am against. We have one problem. If the problem, Sam, which we know is insecurity, I come from that region. I was born in that region. Cat rustlers and so on. right? We have made a suggestion, right? Based on our experience living there, based on our experience with our neighbors, and we have taken an example of Uganda. We also met with the minister himself some 2-3 weeks ago. And we told him, and I've said here, Sam, that let us take the army there. Uganda tried. The entire Karamoja region, which is almost equivalent to what we have in this country, was really ungovernable for many years until Museveni took over. So what Museveni did was he put in concentration on this area. And he said, you know what? The people, give me the guns. I'll give you security. People take guns, Sam, because there's no alternative security. We say from where we come from, hakuna serikali. When there is no gun, government gun. And so we suggested and said, look, you know what? Rather than having army barracks in Nairobi, build army barracks, for example, in places where we are talking about. Army barracks, by the way, and then what happens? Not in the headquarters of counties, but in where we have this insecurity. I was very happy when the president went to Samburu, and said that they actually is going to bring the army barracks. We let the army live with the people themselves. And not very far from each other. Let's say 10 kilometers army, 10 kilometers army. For 15 years, I proposed 15 years army. You know what's going to happen? They provide security. People then will not need to arm themselves. You don't arm civilians, Sam, and you expect peace. Let me tell you, when you arm chiefs, the chiefs will be rogue. You know, chiefs do a lot of, by the way, things at home, where we come from, where we have no courts.
Like what?
If you come resolve some small issues, it's just like a small court, right? You know, maybe somebody quarreling with a wife. You know, maybe somebody's cow was going to eat somebody's maize. you know, a lot of things which chiefs do with the Mukasas. That's why we are proposing in Parliament that they should be paid. Okay. The Mukasas should be paid. So when you take this, and I think that the minister is new, he's sympathizing. You know, Honorable Kindiki has never been to these places. I'm sure he's just shocked that people are live in problems, and therefore why don't we arm chiefs? That is not a solution. Okay. Not even KPR, even their proposal that let's arm KPR and put them in there in a camp. How do you recruit a Turkana? Give a Turkana KPR a gun and a Pokot a gun and put them in the same place. They might kill each other at one time because they're going home. So let us not replace the formal security with informal. Let us, if we need to recruit army or recruit police, let us recruit enough police. Okay. And if we professionalize police, let us professionalize, but let them, I want to say 100 times, let them live there with the people for 15 years. Okay. This thing will be passed.
Honorable Kagushi, you'll have the final word. Your take about the proposal to arm these chiefs, and maybe Nyeri may not be affected as much because you don't have a lot of bandit attacks or terrorism, but what should happen now, especially if you have to look at it from the legal aspect?
One of the things that is positive from the pronouncements by the CS is on giving the chiefs 5 police officers. That's better. You recall when the chiefs used to have police officers at their beck and call, they would also be responsible for security in their area. Today, it's very difficult to put the chief to account, because the aspect of security is almost separated from the chiefs of the areas. And so I am happy that we are coming back to that arrangement. And remember, that arrangement did not come so long time ago. I think it came with Matiang'i, who removed the APs and KPs, rather the APs from the chiefs. I'm happy that that is coming back. And if you talk to any chief anywhere, they will tell you that that was one of the biggest drawbacks in terms of security. As to the issue of arming the chiefs, I'm not very sure whether that is something they even desire themselves. And that probably is because, again, we come from a relatively secure area where we don't deal with the more aggressive security issues. We deal more with homegrown petty crimes. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not very sure that even the chiefs themselves will be so comfortable holding a gun themselves in our areas. I think they will be much more comfortable when they are given the police officers to work with and who are armed, and they have armories in the chiefs camp where the APs also work from. That would probably be a good arrangement. But now
you want an armory at a chief's camp?
Yeah, I mean, the chiefs camps also have APs. You know, they used to also be the...
You want an armory there?
Yeah, we do have. I mean, like in my chief's office, where I come from, I know he also had, he has had the APs for the longest time until when they were removed. And so they have those armories there.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Allow me to just say this,
yes, in closing.
I think something that is important is that this issue of insecurity isn't just because of having firearms or not having firearms. It also goes to do with lack of schools, lack of economic activity, lack of road network, because people have nothing else to. For example, Tiaty constituency is the size of Elgeyo Marakwet County. It has 60 schools that only go up to, I think, class 7 or class 6. And then Elgeyo Marakwet has over 600 and something schools. So then the roads that go through it. Because when you open up an area, then there is less pockets of places for people to get involved in the kind of banditry activities. And also, if the young people are in school, then it's highly unlikely that they'd be involved in cattle rustling. Okay. And they should have some other economic activity. And of course, Honorable Kosina has rightly put it, if you just have army bases there, that can be a great deterrent. Just the presence alone. All right. Yes.
You said 600 schools in Elgeyo Marakwet.
Elgeyo Marakwet has over the numbers when we compared. Tiaty had about 60 schools in the same geographical area. All right. As Elgeyo Marakwet, which has more than 600.
I hear you, and I want to thank you all, Deputy Speaker Gladys Bose, Honorable David Kosing from Pokot South, and John Kagusha from Mukurweini constituency in Nyeri County. Thank you for making time for us of this conversation, and of course all the best to the standard 8 and grade 6 candidates. Is 8:13, so meaning in the next 17 minutes they should start their examinations.
I wish the police could be there.
Right, and my name is Sam Gituku. See you tomorrow same time.